Welcome to the Midnight Dark, the girl who was preserved in the chilling depths of a forgotten 18th-century mansion. A young girl named Eliza vanishes during a stormy night. Decades later, workmen uncover her body, perfectly preserved in a hidden chamber, her skin as pale and smooth as the day she died. But as the dust settles, her eyes flicker open, and the house begins to whisper secrets of a curse that demands fresh life to sustain its eternal youth. Will the intruders escape, or become the next vessels for her undying hunger? Suspense builds with every creaking step into the unknown. The girl who was preserved narrator, voice low, echoing like wind through cracked stone in the year 1763. The village of Blackthorne nestled at the edge of the moors, where the mist swallowed secrets whole. The Van Holtz Mansion stood like a sentinel of shadows, its towers piercing the sky as if to implore the gods for forgiveness. Inside, the air hung heavy with the scent of waxed oak and something sweeter, rotting lilacs, perhaps, or the perfume of a girl on the cusp of womanhood. Eliza Van Holtz was 12. Her eyes were the color of storm-clouded sapphires, her hair a cascade of ebony that framed a face too pale for summer sun. She was the only child of Lord Edmund Van Holtz, a man whose fortune came not from trade, but from alchemy. Whispers of elixirs that promised eternal youth, brewed in the basement laboratory where the walls wept with condensation. The servants spoke in hushed tones of his obsession. He seeks the philosopher's stone, but it's the devil's own he gallivants with. On the night of the great storm, lightning crackled like the whips of angry gods. Eliza played in the attic, her doll made of porcelain and bone clutched in tiny fists. The wind howled, ratting the shutters like skeleton fingers on wood. "Father," she called, her voice a fragile thread in the chaos. No answer. Only the thud of footsteps below, heavy and deliberate. Lord Edmund descended into his laboratory that night, his hands steady as he measured vials of mercury and essence of nightshade. The formula was complete, the elixir of preservation. "For you, my dear," he murmured to the empty air, imaging Eliza's face unchanged by time. But the storm had other plans. A gust shattered a window, shards flying like frosted teeth. Eliza, hearing the crash, ventured down the creaking stairs, her bare feet cold on the marble. "Father? What's that smell?" The air was thick, metallic, like blood mixed with honey. She pushed open the door to the laboratory, and there he stood, silhouetted against the flickering lantern light. In his hand, a syringe glinting like a needle from hell. "Eliza, my love," he whispered, his eyes wild with fever. "It's time to keep you forever." She didn't understand. Not until the needle pierced her neck, and the liquid fire burned through her veins. Her screams echoed, but the storm drowned them. Her body convulsed, skin tightening like parchment over bone, eyes freezing in place like glass marbles. Lord Edmund watched, tears streaming, as life ebbed from her. "Perfect?" he gasped, lifting her light form and carrying her to the hidden chamber behind the bookshelves. A vault lined with lead and crystal, designed to seal away decay. He laid her on the altar of cold stone, dressed in her favorite white gown, hands folded over a rose of preserved petals. Then, he sealed the door with iron and forgot the combination in his grief. Dawn broke, and the mansion was silent. Servants found the laboratory in ruins, blood-smeared vials shattered. Lord Edmund was gone, fled into the moors, they said, haunted by his own handiwork. Eliza vanished. The villagers whispered of ghosts, of a girl's laughter on windy nights. The mansion fell into ruin, its doors barred, its windows blinded by ivy. 262 years passed. It was 2025, and the Blackthorne Development Company saw profit in the past. "Tear it down," the foreman grunted. "Build condos for the rich folks who like ghost stories with their latte." The workmen, Jack, Mike, and young Tommy, hacked at the ivy, their breaths fogging in the unexpected chill. "Feels like a grave in here," Mike muttered, swinging his pickaxe at a rotted panel in the study. Wood splintered, revealing a hidden door. Dust billowed like a phantom's breath. Tommy, the newbie, peered inside. Guys, what the hell? The chamber was intact, air stale but not foul. In the center, on a stone slab, lay a girl, perfectly preserved. Her gown was yellowed but unraveled, skin pale as moonlight, lips blue-tinged but full. No decomposition. No skeleton beneath. Just Eliza. Jack crossed himself. She looks alive. Mike laughed nervously, flashing his phone's light. Probably some wax doll. Victorian prank. But as the beam hit her face, her lid fluttered. Just a trick of the light? Tommy reached out, fingers brushing her cheek. Cold. Too cold. Then, a gasp, weak, ratty, like air through cracked leaves. Her eyes opened. Sapphire blue, but cloudy with hate. Who disturbs eternal rest? Her voice was a whisper, yet it echoed in their skulls, like worms crawling in ear canals. Jack stumbled back, tripping over a loose stone. Mike froze, phone dropping, its light spinning wildly. Tommy? He couldn't move. Her hand, small bony, snaked out, gripping his wrist. Join me, she breathed, and he felt the cold SEP into his blood, slowing his heart. The mansion groaned, as if awakening. Doors slammed shut throughout the halls, trapping them inside. Shadows lengthened, forming claws that scratched at the walls. She's taking me, Tommy screamed, his skin paling, veins turning to frost under flesh. Jack bolted for the door, but IT wouldn't budge. Behind him, Eliza rose, her joints cracking like dry twigs. Father promised forever, she intoned, her steps slow, inevitable. But forever is lonely. You'll keep me company. Mike smashed a window with his tool, glass raining like tears. Fresh air rushed in, carrying the screams of the Moors. Jack dove out, landing in the mud, but Mike hesitated, looking back at Tommy. Now a husk, eyes glassy, skin taut as drum. Eliza's head turned, unnaturally, locks falling like snakes. Run, Mike whispered to himself, but her voice caught him. Too late. A vine of shadow wrapped his ankle, pulling him back into the dark. Jack, from the ground, heard the crunch of bone, the gurgle of preserved liquid filling lungs. He ran, blind through the mist, until he reached the village pub. The girl, she's alive, he gasped, collapsing. The locals exchanged glances. Van Holtz? Thought that curse died with the old man. By dawn, the mansion was silent again. The work crew? Gone. Only Jack survived. But nights later, he woke to cold fingers on his throat. In his mirror, his reflection pale, eyes turning blue. Join me, whispered the girl who was preserved. And in Blackthorne, the Moors swallowed another secret. But wait, deep in the chamber, two new forms lay beside Eliza. Mike and Tommy, perfectly preserved, waiting for the next intruders. The cycle continues. Forever.